It seems we have a problem. The rift has... well, the destruction of Arcadia is imminent. Architect, help us.
There is. Though, given your tenacity in preventing bloodshed, a chance yet remains. We must bring the modulator as close to the rift as possible.
Are you sure there isn't just an off button?
Oh, Emery. Taking a page from Auntie's Choice product testing, I see. We do try to...
Let me be clear. I am not placing this burden upon your shoulders. I will give you time to vacate the ship. When you are clear, I will fly it into the rift myself. You are right. Arcadia will find its way without me. I am not trying to be anything. This is my responsibility.
And I'm going with him. I am owed an existence in perfection after all I've done. I won't forget this, Commander. You ready?
And so I must contend with the beast of my own making. Now go.
Thanks, Commander. Deep down, everyone dreams of
I suppose if this...
So, in the end, when the Consul was faced with the undeniable errors in his logic, he chose to save Arcadia by closing the rift himself. He died hoping his sacrifice might make up for the disastrous decisions he had made. Aza, on the other hand, was beyond such pedestrian concerns of right and wrong. She was going to merge with perfection, and she couldn't have been happier. Thanks to the Commander's quick thinking in sparing it from the Vox Station's fiery crash, Paradise Island's Fairfield remained a profitable company town for Auntie's Choice. For his outside-the-box thinking and innovative propaganda techniques, D.B. Milverstreet was promoted, while rival Officer Carr seethed at her lack of upward mobility, or even bronze-tier executive benefits. Vigilant Hogarth, now acclimated to Fairfield, leaned on the protectorate ideals of neighborliness, while overlooking all the authoritarian tactics, so he might help the Order to succeed with the equation. Auntie's Choice assumed control over the day-to-day workings of Matriarch's Mercy, the better to monitor their new colleagues in the Order. The monastery, however, returned to normal operation, tracking the clockwork of the grand plan. The monastery's abbot became a scapegoat for recent tragic events, having not detected Wiley's dastardly schemes. His superiors demoted him, mainly to show their corporatist allies that academics could keep their people in line too. Seer Wiley fled the Order and sought refuge in a backwater Arcadian town to contemplate his failings. As word of the ex-seer's arrival spread, people lined up for predictions. Forsaking the math that failed him, he offered obvious yet effective advice instead. After defending Fort Endurance against a fierce Mantisaur attack, Executive Warchek was awarded a commendation for profit-securing stalwartness, as well as promotion to regional manager. He eventually passed peacefully in his sleep, at the scientifically astounding age of 6. Val continued to serve the commander of the Incognito faithfully, for many more years than should be possible, giving automechs like her everywhere a reputation as stable and reliable. As a result, more Valerie units were put into service, while fewer human agents were deployed into the field. As he rose through the Earth Directorate ranks, Niles pressed for a field directive to deploy the new Val units only when the situation posed significant risk. The policy reduced agent casualties by a significant margin. Oddly enough, in-office deaths increased by a not insignificant margin. Agent Niles Ibarra achieved the rank of commander, earning renown as a formidable agent, unafraid to challenge the status quo within the Earth Directorate. He had his work cut out for him. Anti-Directorate sentiment swelled following Zebulon Tran's release of the agency's skip drive agreement with the Protectorate, an agreement that had enabled the Protectorate's worst authoritarian impulses. Niles' association with Tran limited his opportunities for promotion. Although he never rose higher than the Chief of Special Operations, the position still allowed him to leave a meaningful impact on the agents serving under him, which suited Niles just fine. Following Inez's humiliation of Auntie's Choice VP Willard Conan, the grafting program was shuttered forever. Inez ensured that all surviving grafted soldiers received full medical treatment and were compensated for their suffering. Those who died from the experiments were honored. Utilizing what he learned alongside the commander, Tristan attempted to reform Protectorate society from within. But with no authority figure to lead its subjects, the Protectorate was a shell of its former self. Ever logical and distant from others, Marisol embraced violence as her solution to eliminate random variables from the equation. Unsurprisingly, she was invited to few social functions. With the modulator schematics shared as joint intellectual property, Auntie's Choice and the Order's partnership remained steady, despite the need for constant compromise. For a time, the Arcadia colony thrived. Auntie Cleo went through the motions of accommodating the Order, yet privately aspired to keep free trade anything but free. She began a new initiative. Any corporation or government that refused her trade conditions was promptly dealt with, either via takeover or strategic use of rifts. Auntie made her first public appearance in years, inspiring a fashion trend in bubble helmets. In no time at all, she won more public support than Ruth, which she sought to use as leverage when the time was right. Unable to acquire the chemicals needed for the process, Ruth Bassar nevertheless attempted to interface with the archive and died immediately. Her successor banned any future interfacing attempts and led the Order in a much more cautious direction, delaying their progress for at least a century. Adrift without firm leadership, Protectorate subjects struggled with post-war life. A small band of hardliners collaborated to preserve their society in the face of Arcadia's new leadership. When Sovereign Varric was discovered in mental refreshment, the Order and Auntie's Choice bickered over what to do with him. They ultimately decided to announce his death, while letting him live the rest of his addled days behind closed doors aboard the undisputed claim. Until one day, Amos stumbled upon the Sovereign's private quarters and freed him, rocking the colony with a brief scandal. Despite the recent tumultuous events in Arcadia, it was business as usual for Free Market Station. Sub Rosa continued to supply the colony in the wake of the commander's actions. Unable to die in their sacred rift after it was closed, the Glorious Dawn heeded a new calling, seeking the modulators needed to create new rifts, so that they could die in those instead. With its reputation tarnished by its well-publicized agreement with the Protectorate, the Earth Directorate was on its back foot in negotiations to purchase skip drives from the new leadership of Arcadia. The dangerous experimental research of Marisol's contact from Point Obviation lived on, with a seer-predicted 11.9% probability of yielding a universe-ending catastrophe. Meanwhile, an entrepreneurial work group of chemistricians unveiled a new flavor of purple berry crunch. The release of the skip drive schematics to the public domain resulted in new and exciting opportunities for independent manufacturers. However, unchecked use of the drives would ultimately lead to an even greater proliferation of rifts, once again imperiling the galaxy. Fortunately, the Order stepped in. Leveraging their partnership with Auntie's Choice, the Order sold Rift modulators to all skip drive manufacturers for a modest price, thus preventing another outbreak of rifts, while Auntie's Choice made a tidy profit. The Rift compromise between the Order and Auntie's Choice led to prioritized assistance for the colonies that agreed to favorable trading terms. The so-called Auntie's Loyalty Program tripled the corporation's net worth. Meanwhile, the Order was able to sermonize their version of scientism alongside Auntie's marketing and PR onslaught, at least to colonies in Auntie's Loyalty Program. Many outside died because their rifts weren't closed in time. All of these events turned on the decisive actions of the Earth Directorate agent and their unique way of navigating Arcadia, its disparate factions, social complexities, ubiquitous product placement, and arsenal of absurdly satisfying weaponry. But through it all, and to this day, Earth has remained inexplicably dark.